Jeff Bezos has said he plans to give away a majority of his wealth to charity. The billionaire founder claims he wants to give away most of his $124 billion to fight climate change and also to support people working for the good of humanity. His vow comes at a time that Amazon is planning to fire around 10,000 employees. But for now, our focus is on the business of charity. There are those who have attacked Bezos for not signing up for the Giving Pledge. The pledge is, of course, a global initiative, and that's spearheaded by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. The billionaires want the world's richest to give away at least 50% of their money to charity. But Bezos now plans to give away his wealth during his lifetime, and he wants to do it without that pledge. Well, to that we say, come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. And that's stealing a line from Bo Burnham's final song. But really, the question is, can Jeff Bezos pave the way? That is the real question. Well, India's richest, they're quite charitable too. According to the Edelgive Purun Indian Philanthropy List of 2022, the Shiv Nadar-led Indian corporate honchos now donate 1,164 crores. And now they are followed by Azim Premji at 484 crores. That list is rounded off by the likes of Mukesh Ambani, K.M. Birla and Gautam Adani. And these people, not unlike Bezos, have yet to go along with that giving pledge. According to their website, the pledge has 230 signatories from 28 different nations, and that includes names like Larry Ellison, David Rockefeller and Mark Zuckerberg as well. India, of course, is a different story. Reports suggest that when Gates and Buffett visited India in March this year to promote the pledge, Indian tycoons were not quite impressed. Indians are not really misers, but the question is, what is the cause behind this rather expensive snub? Cultural differences is perhaps where the answers lie, but experts suggest it may also be because of local policies. Indian and even Chinese philanthropists would be rather wary when it comes to local laws when donating to foreign funds. For example, in India, when an NGO gets funds from a foreign institution, the Home Ministry comes into play. The Foreign Contribution Regulation Act tracks funding coming into NGOs from foreign institutions. With the Home Ministry in play, the business of charity gets even more complicated. So under the income tax laws in India, donations towards eligible trusts or charities which qualify for tax deductions are subject to certain conditions. What exactly are they? For one, donations to National Defence Fund, the Prime Minister's Relief Fund and a few others all are eligible for 100% deduction without any qualifying limit. The second condition, some donations are eligible for only 50% deduction. And thirdly, there are donations to local authorities that are eligible for 100% deduction but up to 10% of the donor's adjusted gross total income. It's not really a business to tell how people should give, but it does make sense why Indian philanthropists are less than eager to attach their names to a foreign trust. But then let's go back to Bezos, Buffett and Gates as well. The signatories of the Giving Pledge have made commendable vows, but the question is there a darker reason lurking behind it? When COVID rocked the world 2 years ago, American billionaires were rather visible in their charitable work. Jeff Bezos announced $100 million for food banks. Bill Gates, on his part, gave away billions for a coronavirus vaccine. Elon Musk donated thousands of ventilators and N95 masks. But these were actually nothing compared to their real wealth. $100 million from Bezos amounts to just 11 days of his income. If the US imposes a wealth tax like American Senator Elizabeth Warren had proposed, Bill Gates would have to pay $6 billion a year. So all these raise some very pertinent questions. For one, is there a need to tax the rich more? Secondly, are the rich giving away their money to get write-offs? If appropriate taxes are in place, will a modern, equal society even need charity?
What does a startup mean to you? An ecosystem that rewards risk-taking, entrepreneurship and individuality. Think again, because statistics speak. Since October 1, over 3,400 startup employees in India lost their jobs. It's 1/3 of the total retrenchment since January. Twitter has cut its workforce by half. Meta too has jumped on the bandwagon.
I think little over onboarding that has happened between Q1 and Q2 is what is resulting in these layoffs currently, right? So as and when there's a revenue impact coming in, the first is going to be cost reduction. And when you talk about cost in an organization, it's about the wage that first hits. So from that angle, there are downsizing happening, but it doesn't mean there are no job opportunities available. Technology definitely has a demand.
Local companies are now expected to rely more on contractual employees, even as they freeze recruitment at mid and senior level positions. Some industry watchers also believe the pain of layoffs may soon pass, with tech firms onboarding new hires as soon as early 2023.
Large IT services companies and Indian companies, at this point in time, we are not seeing any headcount reduction as such. There is a hiring freeze definitely, but reduction we are not foreseeing. In fact, our internal estimates when we are talking to the customers is that starting January there can be a pickup in the momentum because they're not increasing their core headcount, their permanent employee headcount. So the gap between demand and supply they are planning to deliver using contract staff.
Technology firms increased hiring significantly in the last 2 years as global economies focused on digitization thanks to lockdowns. Now the same firms are handing out pink slips. Are we in for a long haul then?
It should definitely taper down because this is good. See, also look at this quarter. Q3 is traditionally it has been low for IT staffing or IT kind of hiring because most of the agencies operate between Jan to December as their financial year, and they will be in a fag end of their closure. So definitely, I think Q4 is the beginning of an financial year, and I'm sure we will see activities coming back gradually between Feb and March.
In the meantime, what can tech employees do to secure their future?
For employees, my primary advice is keep a strong cushion and be ready to have alternative skills, all that. Also be ready to go back to hometowns, all that, because that's now important. Otherwise, big cities are expensive to live, and from smaller towns, you might be able to have a kind of a longer runway to relaunch yourself. Because you should think of yourself as a startup, how you relaunch yourself.
But can the Indian economy afford another exodus of workforce from big cities to smaller towns? And how will it affect consumption? That's what policymakers will keep an eye on.